kind of person. I would love to talk to him more talk about him more on the business aspects. Some people in the chat are mentioning a few things about him. You know, they have Master P. He had Master P dolls. I mean, he had Master P ramen noodles. He was putting his son on TV. He was taking his son on tour, making his son. He was putting his brothers on, his cousins. You know, how rare was that back then? Because I don't, you don't even see too much of that nowadays.
Well, you know what? It was like it was for a while. He couldn't do no wrong. Everything he touched was going to go. You know, he had quite a few successful acts, and when you have success, people are always trying to get the spinoff. He understood that. Where the spinoff at? The spinoff is going to be my son, Lil Romeo. The spinoff is going to be my brother, C Murder. Who, damn it, he killed somebody, or he got involved in some bullshit and messed his off. But yeah, you know, you have success. People want to find ways to exploit it to the best of their ability, and you know, the next one was his son. You know, then I think that, and I heard Master P got a pretty good ball game too. So you know, all that was a part of, you know, what he was doing, and then he took that same attitude to the cereal aisle, to the ramen noodle aisle, to the potato chips aisle. I ain't seen it nowhere lately, but he gave it a shot, you know? And it's pretty much the same thing. When you start messing with ramen noodles and potato chips and cereal, you messing with Kellogg's, bro. You messing with Kellogg's, and you messing with some big dudes, man. You know, any market share that you get, it's gonna be felt, because you know they used to selling a certain amount of stuff in a certain area, and they don't need your competition. I ain't seen the Crip and Blood soda no more like I used to. I see it all the time. That red soda, that blue soda, Peace. It was called Peace Soda, Peace Pop, or something like that.
Oh damn, that's sad. I didn't even know that existed, man. Wow.
There was for a while. Who was what's his name? Boy out of Atlanta. Damn, won the Grammy.
David Banner?
No.
I'll look it up.
Damn.
Peace Soda, Crip and Blood Soda. Somebody will probably catch it before I get my slow ass computer does.
Y'all know who I'm talking
about. Blood Soda. Let's see what it says. Killer Mike. There you go.
Killer Mike was pushing this Crip and Blood soda, red and blue soda. You know, we like soda. Why we ain't got our own? You know, okay, cool. But you know, one or two things will happen. Either they're gonna squash you or they're gonna buy you. You will not control that.
All right, this is what I really want to get into, Lonzo, now that we built up to this, because this is a great conversation. It seems like they only allow us to go so far. Can you talk about that? And let me let my dog out, because she's giving me that look like she has to pee. Talk to me about that.
Right. You know, I've talked to a lot of players before me, man. And you know, it really seems that way because the American business model is structured that way for the most part. Most people build a business or create something to sell it. You know, whether it's your record company or your artist, people build things to sell them. And even when you don't want to sell them, sometimes somebody says, "Nah, you need to get that up, dude, because that's too big." And I hate to say this, you can't be that big. Not in this game right here. This is our game. I'll never forget, I was talking to a friend of mine, Good Fred. Good Fred owned Good Fred Oil. Good Fred Oil was made right there on 54th and Western by a black man. But Naturals first came out. Naturals, there was no hair care products for Naturals. And Good Fred had a salon called La Routan. La Routan is natural spelled backwards. Okay. And he was Good Fred from Chicago, from the Midwest, I think in Chicago. And we came out to LA, he started making hair care products. It was for the natural. The natural hairstyle was the shit. They was doing blowouts, they were doing all that shit right there on 54th and Western. So he created his own little natural juice, Good Fred Oil. And it was a simple formula. It was made from glycerin and water. That's it. Glycerin and water. Good Fred oil sold all over the country. If you ever watch Soul Train, they had Good Fred commercials on Soul Train. My partner Durrell, who I walk with every Sunday, was one of the models for Soul Train and for Good Fred oil. That's Fred's son. And I asked Fred, man, so what happened to Good Fred oil? Now we kind of knew what happened, but it was another story that was even more important than the Good Fred oil turning your hair red in the summertime. Oh yeah, you became a Lucille Ball redhead every summer because Good Fred oil turned your shit blonde. Okay, but he told me he had done so well. He done like 4-5 million. 4-5 million. That's a lot of money in the 70s. That's a lot of money. And he didn't have no partners. He literally manufactured, mixed, bottled, packaged, and shipped everything from 54th and Western. The money came straight to him. The checks came straight to him. No distributors, no middleman. Everything I'm buying over here. I'm buying raw product over here. I'm putting it together in my office right here, my factory right here at 54th and Western, and I'm shipping it around the world, and I'm collecting the money. The money coming straight to my account. He says one of the big boys hit him up. I ain't gonna call no names. I don't need no shit. One of the big boys hit him up. Hey, we want to buy your product. He said, no, I'm doing good. I'm cool. They came at him again, made him another offer. He refused the offer. He says about 30 days later, so all of a sudden, his credit line started getting cut. His suppliers wouldn't sell to him. He couldn't get no bottles. He couldn't get no glycerin. So him being the black man that he was, I'm gonna give him some glycerin. He tracked down the glycerin manufacturer in Canada, found some bottles in Canada. So he had one guy shipping him some bottles, another guy shipped him some glycerin. He says when the glycerin showed up from Canada, mind you, this is 1974, 75. When the glycerin showed up, so did the FBI. The FBI wanted to know, why does a black man on 54th and Western need 500 gallons of glycerin? If y'all are not chemistry savvy, all you need is some nitro and you got a party. If you mix nitro with glycerin, you got a party. So he said, and the FBI came in, they got all kind of information from him, blah, blah, blah. Make sure he wasn't 54th and Western down in the 70s was like the hot spot for all the black revolutionaries. And he said because of that, shortly after that,